All right, hold up. All right, now we are live. All right, Bill. We live right now.
Alrighty.
All right, people. Welcome to our 2019 playoff prediction. We now the rule now what we got going on. We've discussed that if you want to pull up on the podcast, you gotta drop 50. Because the reason why I drop 50 because if you want to, because we gotta know the series. You can't be coming up. You can't be saying you'll do this and then you're not gonna drop. You're not gonna pull through. So yeah. My name is the coach, and we have
You can call me the player.
the player. Okay,
Next, go for it.
the play. All right, bet. Anyways, let's get into these playoff predictions. So I see that you have watched the Sixers and the Brooklyn game, right?
Yes, I did watch that game.
What what are your what's your take on that? What
All right. Well, my take on the game was, the Nets had complete control from the beginning. Really.
mhm.
They shot very well from the 3-point line. They played very well defensively. They were able to hold, pretty much rather than Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler to under 10 points. Joel was so he wasn't as efficient or
Okay.
very. Uh,
Because a healthy Joel is a dangerous Joel Embiid.
yeah, he is
So,
he is very dangerous.
shit.
And if he was healthy, I think they would have won this game. But he was horrendous from the 3-point line.
Who Joel?
Yes, he was very bad. He was 0-5 from 3-point line. He was 5-15. He did get 18 free throws, but he only made 12, which is not good for a guy who that. Jimmy Butler was really positive in this game. He had a positive 11. And I think this game was a perfect showcase of Ben Simmons being a liability for your offense. His ability to not even hit, mid-range shots, open shots.
That's the thing I was talking about. Like, why I don't know why he can't just like learn how to shoot a three. Because like in this league, a three is better than a two. So you can't sit there and tell me that the three he can't sit there and tell me that he's gonna be good by just shooting two and two and two. No, you're gonna eventually have to shoot a three. And once you get that 3-pointer, you're gonna be something to be dealt with. People are gonna be looking at you like, oh, we gotta cover him now. He can shoot a three. You can't be playing off of him. You can't be playing off this dude because now he can shoot a three. So I don't know what his deal with that is, but that nigga gotta do something.
Well, he's got to learn how to in the offseason. He must learn how to shoot threes, but he also needs to learn how to shoot twos. He can't even shoot twos really at all. Either he gets inside or he gets it off a he does with JJ Redick, their give off pass and he goes to the paint and he scores. That's not really score. He will never be this great player. He's a very good player, but as people have said, for him to reach superstar potential, he must learn how to shoot. In this league, you must learn how to shoot. If you don't,
you don't know how to shoot, then you're gonna be in the long run. You're gonna be in the long run playing.
Yeah.
So,
But also JJ Redick wasn't very good today. Yeah. I mean, he fouled out. The game. He had 5 points. He wasn't really very good. And I think this is the game that proved to people why Jimmy Butler is actually the best player.
Because I seen Jimmy Butler. He be trying to carry his team to victory. Even they were down by like 14 at one point. They were down by 14. I seen he's still driving in the paint. Like he's still driving in the paint, trying to win the game at any all cost.
Yeah,
But
Jim Butler, he had a great second quarter, 18 points, capped it off with a three to cut the lead to 8. He kept that team in the game because early in the second quarter they were down by double digits and it looked like they're going to get ran out, but they played good defense. Jim Butler started scoring. There were a lot more without Joel, really with Boban. Boban was pretty effective with. But once Joel came back in, I thought they kept boiling down that lead, and especially after the second quarter into the third. But the Nets put on the gas. They scored a couple buckets. They played good defense, and they were able to build that lead out.
I didn't. What I didn't expect. I didn't expect the Nets to like win by like 10. I didn't expect them to like basically come out the way they did. I was looking at it, I was like, these niggas just not destroying, but they're killing Philly. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you can just look at the box scores for both teams. I mean, they shot 43% from the field. They shot 42% from the field, which is very, very impressive. It's what you need in today's NBA. And they're 92% from the free throw line compared to Philadelphia, who was 69%, and they have 42 attempts. You had 16 more attempts, and you could make. To be honest with you, you look at that difference, they could have won the game. And also make any threes. They were 25 for 12%. They weren't good. They didn't shoot well. Josh too many threes. Breddick wasn't good at all. Shot 1 of 4. He just didn't look like it was effective.
He didn't look like how he was looking in the regular season, dropping like 30 points a game in a couple times this season.
Yeah, but plus minus for those starting 5 guys. The plus minus is horrible. I mean, Summers have a plus minus 21. Joel has a minus 17. Harris has a plus 3. Because I guess you say he wasn't really impactful at all. Like I've said to you,
was he because of his injuries? That's why he's not really impactful. But
I mean, he wasn't giving enough shots anyways. I don't think they used him a lot.
Really, he needs to really want to. He needed to use your main people, and then you'll have a better chance at winning. But since Joel got like what?
He got 15 shots. But you look at that, you look at his 3 points, he shot 5 of them. He was 5 of 10, but missed all his threes. That's why he was so bad. He was 50% from the field goal from inside into 2, which is not actually very good for him because he's a far higher percentage on the season. But my biggest disappointment of this game is Ben Simmons. He showed exactly what I thought.
Yeah. He scored like 9 points, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, he got 9 points, 4 rebounds. I'm sorry, no, 9, 7, 3. But he can't shoot. He can't shoot.
Let this be known, Ben Simmons. If you want to be a threat in this league, you gotta be. Look what Giannis is shooting threes out here. He's more efficient than you.
I mean, Giannis got at least a set shot 3. He has nothing.
I've seen he's what you call it. All of a sudden this season he started to shoot some threes. I'm like, damn. He really trying to be the most dangerous player in the league.
Yeah, because Giannis understands that he has to get better. He must learn to shoot threes. He has to have a mid-range game. And Ben Simmons is going with Kylie Jenner too much, and so he doesn't care. Yeah, was it Kendall Jenner's his girlfriend? So he's hanging out with her too much.
Man, look, you need to stay away from them bitches. Them bitches gonna get you caught the fuck up. Look what happened to Lamar Odom. Look what happened to James Harden. The time he fucking with Chloe, his shit was fuck. His stats were fuck. Look what happened. He got MVP. He averaged 36 this season. So let it be known. And also what you call Austin Mills or some shit like that. He out the league. He out the league. Lamar Odom, he out the league. He overseas. So you know what these girls are bad. These girls are a bad look for you. You stay away from them.
Yeah.
Stay away from them.
Well, if we go to the Nets, they were very good today. Karis LeVert was very good. He had 23. He was 8 of 18, perfect from three, and was a plus 18. I'm very look like here. Ed Davis was very, very good. I mean, he had a 12.
Yeah, he had like 16 rebounds, 12 points.
Yeah, you just look at that plus minus is a plus 28. If you want to get that, it's on ESPN. So I go for that.
You want to look at these stats? Yeah, go no promotion to ESPN though.
Yeah, and he was very good. Jared Dudley was really good too, plus 16. You can kind of look here that they're really good with a Russell, maybe a Davis, Dudley, and Dinwiddie. If they're on the court, or LeVert, the team was very effective. Even if you see D'Angelo Russell was a minus 10, he actually wasn't very good today. You can see he was 10 of 25 from the field, so he wasn't shooting his best today. But he did go through. He did come through and close out the game. But the bench was the real reason why they won this game, if you really think about it, because the bench had the 3 highest scores were off the bench, and that's the thing about the Nets. They're the Clippers, but better because they have.
I seen. And then D'Angelo also, he only come up for sure.
Yeah, he should still be in the Lakers, but they decided to trade him away.
And then we'll get to the Lakers the next one.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Talk about what we think they should do. Don't forget, Luke Walton's the coach for the Sacramento Kings.
So he got accepted, or is he getting looked at?
They're moving close to a deal from so he should be coming through very soon. We should get an announcement by tomorrow. And so, to end my thoughts, very happy how they played. I thought they played well, and they should be confident trying to go into game 2 and win this. Because who knows how it's going to be next in a couple days.
I think Brooklyn, the way they play, I think they have a strong case to go into the second round. I think they can get to the second round.
Yeah, they have 3 elite drivers: Russell, Dinwiddie, and LeVert. If you were watching,
they got their secret weapon in Joe Harris too.
Yeah.
Joe Harris. He only put up 13. He did go 3 or 4 from deep. He did go 3 or 4 from deep. Shows you how much of an elite shooter he really is.
Yeah. The Carus guy, the small forward for the Nets, he really does nothing. Yeah, Caruso, he does nothing. I mean, he played 13 minutes.
He only shit, I don't know what to say about that.
If he's a defensive player, I don't see it. I mean, I saw him get beat multiple times by Butler.
He's not really a defensive player. He didn't even get no blocks. He only got 1 steal. So I was like,
he was ineffective. And you can see here with their minus 10 on Russell, minus 8 on Jared Allen. Because Jared Allen was getting in foul trouble early a lot. And Harris and Russell on the court when the Sixers for 3 different runs. And that's why they have it. But when they had Dudley, they kind of put that lead back out. And Dinwiddie, because Dinwiddie was really, really good today. They got the switch on their big, or even with Butler or Simmons. Those 2 guys were able to go right past them, get to the basket, either get a hard layup or a foul. And so, I think that's what the game came down to. Joel wasn't good. He was hurt, so he wasn't as effective. Jimmy Butler was really good, but had no help from any of the other starters. And the Nets team games, talent, anytime.
That's what it is in the NBA. You gotta play. You gotta be as one. You gotta play as one. You can't know none of that hero ball bullshit like fucking Russell Westbrook when KD was gone. What happened? He averaged 28 and got absolutely no fucking wear.
Yeah. And so I guess you want to move on to the Raptors Magic.
Let's move on. Let's move on to that game. I mean, it's ongoing right now, but we can.
Yeah.
We'll still think. Put our what game happened before the Sixers?
No game. That's actually was the first game.
Oh,
yeah.
Good. No,
so I'm just looking at the box score here because I haven't watched the game, and tomorrow we'll give you our thoughts on the rest of the game. But Toronto has a 14-2 third quarter. So they are shutting down right now. Yeah, if you look through that box score, they've only scored 2 points.
By 4 right now. We almost see what you call it. DJ Augustine carrying. He don't got the Vucevic. He ain't really like pulling up today. He's 2 for 10. He's 2 for 10.
Yeah, I mean this is supposed to be. I think was supposed to be a big part of this. Vucevic is their him and Gordon, their 2 best players, and for them to only be down by 4, even with
for them to be down by 4, with for them to be down by 4, it's just crazy to me, bro. That shit.
Yeah, but DJ Augustine was on before the second quarter before he came to this podcast. He was making tough shots, and
he made that one. He made that one buzzer beat. Not that buzzer beat, but he made that one. What you call it? He made that one shot clock cheese shot from deep, which was very clutch for him.
Yeah. I'm seeing here there again Kyle Lowry.
Man, Kyle, don't get me started on him. That dude. I don't even get started on that dude, man.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry's 0 for 5 today. 0 for 4 from 3-pointer. If now he's a weapon because again, look at the third. They're coming back. They're in the lead. They were like a 2-14 through the first.
He 0 for 5. Majority of the shots are threes. Missed. He can't make no shots. He can't make no threes. He making no free throws right now. He do got 5 rebounds before assists.
Well, so yeah, this just means he's having an effect. But again, this is what I've told people. When you look at plus minus, it's very, very, in my opinion, not indicative of really how much. Before the match it's live, a plus 13 or something, because he's on the court and he may not anybody finally scoring. So, I mean, how really important is plus minus? I always disregarded it because it just deals with score. I mean, I could be do nothing and get like plus 20 because I'm on the court and we're blowing them out now. You know, I've seen those games before.
We got what you call it? And we're not playing nobody. So I guess they doing a 9-man rotation. I guess.
Yeah.
I do. One thing I don't know is like, getting a little off topic though. One thing I don't understand is why do these coaches like to? I understand why they do it, but why have like all these people dressed up already, and they're not even Jeremy Lin touched the point yet. So I'm trying to figure out like why is that rotation that people only do, coaches only do 9-10 man rotations. I guess they're like what? They're trying to save the player or use what they already established beforehand or what? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. I think that mostly, they kind of go their starters way more. And you know that.
Yeah, they do.
And so when they in the playoffs, you're going to ride your starter 30, 40, 35, 40 minutes. And so you're not going to play the entire team. And also the Raptors are a different team this year. Last year they used to use
now me thinking about it, it's like it makes sense because like you're not going to want to fuck up the rotations for like all your other players. Like you don't want to fuck up your rotations. Like okay, we have these guys. If we need them, we're gonna we're gonna cycle through our 4 people on the bench.
Yeah. But from what I'm seeing here, I would just use a smaller. Honestly, sometimes I just don't know what to say. I honestly would go Fred VanVleet over Kyle Lowry.
I think Fred. Yeah, I would put Fred. I'd put Fred in there.
Yeah.
He's doing something this season. I like what I see from him.
Today he scored 8 points. I know his plus minus is minus 12. Again, I'm sure he was on the court. They were getting
That plus minus bullshit don't really get phase me because like okay he's minus he's minus 10, right? Okay,
most
when he
likely.
gets but when he gets on the court, it's something different. It's something else though. He's doing something to help out the team at all times. So I don't really believe that plus minus analytical bullshit. Get that out of here. I'm not all about that. I'm all about like seeing. I'm all about your stats. If you are putting up shots, if you are putting up assists, if you're putting up rebounds and points, or you're putting up something, multiple things in some categories, then I'm gonna say, okay, you did something. But if I see you go for like 2 for 10 and make no threes, get no assists and barely any rebounds like Brook Lopez, then you're not doing shit on the court. You get your ass on the bench because that's not what I would want on my team. What I would want on my team, I want you to fight each and every time you get down the court. No, none of that. No, none of that sorry ass bullshit. Bullshit plays.
Yeah, and that's why I with you. I felt that a plus minus is not really indicative. Watch the game and see who's very effective.
Exactly. If you believe the analytical nerds who don't get out of their fucking cubicles, you believe that plus minus bull, then you don't know basketball. I don't look at the plus. Why am I looking at the plus minus? I'm looking at their stats. Their stats are more worthy to look at plus minus. Plus minus is something. It's not to throw you off. It's just something unnecessary in the basketball game that needs to be taken out. But
they'll keep it there because sometimes it does show.
dude, it does, but I'm not really paying attention to that. I don't know if any of y'all be paying attention to that plus minus stuff, but I really don't.
I mean, look, it matters though, because you could look at the Magic, right? Everybody but Terrence Ross has a plus minus. Now I see Birch, center for the bench, he has a plus 0, but everybody else is negative because they've lost the lead, they became blown out. I mean, third quarter, Toronto's owned them, so not all negative. Like
they're 12 to 22. They're both in the bonus.
Looks like they are in the bonus already. But let's move on to the biggest game of the night. All right,
we'll be looking at the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Clippers.
Yes, and so
I'm sitting next to a Golden State nerd right here, bro. Oh my god.
Well, look, I'm not a Golden State nerd, but I'm a guy who's been on this team for a long time.
Look, man, we can go back and forth. We can go back and we have this discussion off the podcast so many damn times, bro. We can go back and forth about 30 minutes to an hour about why I think that this man is a bandwagon. But we're not going to do all that because we're talking about the playoffs. And if y'all want to hear about that little, if you want to hear about that little video for like the next couple ones, hit me up. I'll be more than glad to speak on why I think he's a bandwagon.
All right, just to give myself a little bit, I watched Steph Curry in 2008 NCAA tournament, win 4 games, almost beat you. I've been a fan of Steph Curry since 2008. I really am not the Warriors until about the year before they blew up. Now, watch him during the week. Probably not, but I heard about them because I don't know if I had cable at that time. But I don't think I'm a millionaire because I've always been on this. I was on this team a year before. I've always been on Steph Curry, and that's why I'm a millionaire. Now, some people go on Twitter and came after they won, or they really came after 2016 because they won 73 and I jumped on them. And
that's when them motherfuckers really came the fuck out. Oh my god!
But let's look at the team. All right, they have 4 guys who have scored 16 or more. Draymond Green, probably their 5th best player in terms of just skill. But Steph needs
I think he'd be their 5th best player overall, regardless. I mean, who's gonna be better? Who's gonna be better than him? Jonas Jerebko? Man,
yeah, that's true.
That man can. I've watched. I peeped Warrior games here and there. He can't make no. The point is being on is to shoot the damn three. He's breaking all these damn threes like no other, man. I don't. Huh.
Okay, so the one thing about Golden State, this is the greatest offensive season in NBA history. Okay, this is the greatest offensive season in NBA history. They have a 117.7, or I think maybe the greatest offensive PER season ever. I believe so. And so this is actually the greatest offensive team ever, even though they've been under the whole Kevin Durant. I think this is a complete mismatch against the Clippers because the Clippers are basically Lou Williams or nothing else. And if Lou Williams isn't affected, you win.
Lou Williams, man. Oh my god. He dropped like 40 points? He dropped like 40 points how many times off the bench? Like what, 2 times?
I think so. I'll have to look up his season.
He dropped it at least once. He did at least one time though. But
yeah, he has.
It's like him and Montrezl Harrell.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Montrezl Harrell, he elevated his game. Just like Pascal Siakam, how he elevated his game. He's one of the top scorers on the Raptors. Because before Pascal Siakam, he was non-existent. And now look at him. Look at him with Montrezl Harrell. I think they're going to be like one of the front runners for most of the player of the year.
Well, I believe no player of the year should go to D'Angelo Russell because
like I'm saying, there's like 3 people right there that are front runners for like player of the year.
Yeah. And so if we look at the Golden State Warriors year on Basketball Reference, they have the greatest offensive rating in NBA history. They're like 115.9, which is incredible. I looked up the history of offensive ratings. Like Houston's like 4th this year. They're like a 0.4 away. So they actually 2 of the greatest offensive seasons in NBA history was this year. They don't play a high pace. They play about the same pace they've always played. But due to the NBA, it's a lot slower now. They're not a great defensive team, but through the second half of the season, they're about top 5. And so they've been actually a very good team during this half of the season, not the full season, where, everybody knows how to talk about this team of, they don't care or they don't try and play very difficult or really high all the year.
When you got like 5, you got 4 destructive ass niggas in the ball kick and the dick kicker. When you got that on your team, it's like, how can you not? How can you try hard? It's like you do. It's like everybody just be to doom them to win the whole thing. But they've been slacking. I would think they were slacking this season though. 60, we got 5 top players where they get 60 wins. Because of their little losing streak that they went on. Because their little losing streak that they went on, which is why they didn't get 60 wins. But to talk about the playoffs, I think my mind is telling me 4 or 5. I think in my mind it's top 5 games. I think that they come out the gates, start busting the ass with threes and playing hard on the defensive end. That's what I think. And I think like the Clippers, on the other hand, they're gonna try their hardest. But when it comes down to it, they're gonna have nothing. They're gonna have nothing to try and contain all that shit.
Yeah, so I'm looking, post All Star. They've been pretty good. Looking here, they've averaged about 150 points per game during that time. I'm trying to look for their defensive rating for their post All Star, but I know it's been actually very good. Their starting five has actually the best defensive rating for about I think 120 minutes played. So they've learned how to defend with Cousins, which is the most important thing. If people talk about them, could they defend with Cousins? It's easy to learn how to.
I think I know I seen an IG like yesterday that every team in the league first time ever every team average at least 100 points per game. They average at least 100 per game, and that I'm not surprised. I see all these damn teams drop like 130, 140, 110, all these astronomical numbers. I'm just like, because of the 3-point shooting. Like I said about the 3-point shooting, if you don't have a three, you're not. Then it's hard to win. Look at the Lakers. Lakers. My team, they're not even why? Because you have a bunch of freaking playmakers. Like what? Like that shit would probably work in the 2000s, but not in this league, not in today's league.
Well, in today's with the ability to just score all, very easily. Defense, you can't touch anybody. If you can't touch anybody,
hand checking, that's gone. So you can't even like
can't grab. You can't grab. You can't hold. You can't do anything. And if you try, that's a foul. And so, I guess it's going to be hard for teams to really, try and defend people. And also, today's NBA, just don't try to play hard all the time.
It was like when I was doing in the gym earlier. I played like a couple games and shit, and I will admit sometimes I was like super aggressive on defense. He still made the shot. He still made the shot. But I'm thinking like, what happens if he missed it? Then he would have probably called foul. But hey, that's the difference between like playing pickup ball, playing NBA ball. You can be have a lot more immediate, have a lot more leniency, but you can't. But in the NBA, you even like you even do like grab the rim, pull up the rim, Paul to have on board. You get a tech. Like the league is gone soft. I don't know what Alex Silver's going to be doing to fix this, but it seems like something for the foreseeable future. I don't know what's going to happen in the next generation of players. I don't know if he's on that and then. Because if we see if 3-point shooting is lethal now, bro, I don't know what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah, so I'm looking here at the post All-Star statistics for the Golden State Warriors. Their offense really dropped. It was like a 116. So they were the best offense in league history for the first 57 games. The last 25, they slowed down, but that defense rating got down more. They had a little bit higher percentage. They had a lower assist turnover, which means they turned the ball a lot more, actually. Their assist ratio went up, and they played really, really well to me, post All-Star. And their pace was a little bit more higher.
Those turnovers are probably because.
Yeah. Oh, wow, you're not plugged in?
No, I'm plugged in.
Oh, okay, because it's just me. Or is it off? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay. Yeah, they should easily win. I don't even need statistics to tell if they're gonna win or not. They should easily win. They really should easily win.
Right. Okay. So we done with that. We got like.
Oh no,
Oh,
you
no,
haven't said. You haven't said like.
Okay.
I said it was I said it's gonna be 4 or 5.
Well,
That's
personally,
the people, me and the people would like to know what
How
how many
many
games are you giving the Clippers and Warriors, and who's in the win, and
Well, I'm giving-
and your reasoning behind it.
all right. Well, I'm giving the Clippers maybe one game. Honestly, I think this should be a 4-0. The Warriors are their best. And I
If
think
they don't, if they want to get out of the next round easily, I think they want to get in 4. I don't think they want to mess around with them. I don't think they want to, because if you do, Lou Williams might start busting y'all niggas' asses, and then it's gonna be game over.
all right. So after I give this prediction, we're gonna go and look at maybe tomorrow's the Rockets. Just give a prediction real quick because we can't break down the games.
No, we can't. We can't really do that.
So again, my prediction is Warriors and 4. They play like they're supposed to play. Play defense. Don't get lazy. Don't if you get a 10-point, don't start throwing the ball and just hope that goes where it goes. If you do that, I'll be fine. The Clippers are very good team. I'm impressed. I hope the Clippers, because he'll make this team. If they won 40 games this year, they could easily win 50, 60, 55, 60 games next year. And so I'm just ready for that Warriors versus Rockets. The Rockets are the team.
I think, bro, it's gonna be tough watching that series, because it's gonna be the second round. It's not gonna be the last one.
Well, you can.
It's not gonna be like the final round before they get to the finals.
Well, you can blame Anthony Simmons for scoring like 12 in the fourth and 37 for the game, being down by like 28 and coming back to win. So who knows what happened, but it just happened. They came and back in the game and won it, and the Blazers are trying to avoid the Thunder. Like let's just be honest here. There's a reason why they played.
The Blazers, they play 6 people.
They play 6 people, and one.
The Blazers play 6 people.
Yeah, they play 6 people, and one other, and the Kings play their entire team, and they lost.
Yo, they was handicapped, and they still got their ass kicked. I don't know how the fuck y'all play 6 people and win. Y'all played against 6 motherfuckers and lost. Oh my god.
Yeah. But the Blazers are trying to avoid the Thunder, and now they got the Thunder because
the Blazers they're losing it. They lose. I get the Blazers. They get losing it for. That's all I got to say.
I really want the Blazers to get to the conference finals this year. I think they have a great chance, because that needs to validate that in terms of that core. The core's been together for about 3 or 4 years now. They really haven't had much success, apart from getting stuck around by a Damian Lillard from 2015. And so they need to make the conference finals. They better take this chance. I'd like to see them there. And I do say the Spurs second round, because I think the Nuggets are going to lose to Spurs in 6. The Nuggets are just too young, just for my earlier prediction. And I think they're going to lose that series. I feel that the Spurs are going to find a way to shut down Jokic. Because if you shut down Jokic, you shut down the Nuggets. That's it.
Shit. Nuggets going to lose in 6?
Yeah, I think they're going to lose in 6, because if they go to the 7th game, I think the Nuggets actually will win. But I just don't trust, I don't trust their team. They've been shooting very bad the last couple games. And I think the Spurs are the perfect game for them. A team that plays through their offense, jack up threes all the time, plays their 2 best players, operate in the mid-range, the post. And they should easily dominate. I think the Warriors will actually both dominate this series. I think he's going to dominate their guards and just shoot over them. DeMar DeRozan?
I forgot, dude. I totally forgot about they had DeRozan. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, DeRozan should nominate.
I think Spurs, now I think Spurs they can. I think the Spurs are gonna get out of the first round.
I mean, yeah.
I think the Spurs they're gonna get. I think my prediction. I think they're gonna get like. I'd say six. I'd say Spurs in 6.
I just believe if you get the Nuggets in the 7th game, they're gonna win. I think that I don't know who is Aldridge their center. Who's their center for the Spurs?
No, I think it's what you. I have no clue who's there.
All right, let me look up who their center. But I will say Aldridge may have a hard time with Millsap because Millsap's a very strong guy.
And Millsap, he's a very crafty player. He's a very crafty dude.
I do think they do need him. They do need him to.
Because he's the only dude on that team that's been all the way to the NBA Finals at one point. So that playoff experience.
Who's been to the NBA Finals?
Millsap, 15, 16. They faced the Cavs. He lost 4-1. When he's on Atlanta Hawks.
Oh, in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah. He almost went to the NBA. Yeah, so like, he didn't really go to the NBA. He didn't really almost go because they got the ass whooped in 5, but the fact that he could have a chance means that he's the only dude on that team that can. That he's the only dude on that team that has playoff experience and has the knowledge of how to get there and to tell. And he knows what it's like to go almost all the way.
Yeah, but that 61 team he had they were no good. I mean, obviously they're better than everybody else. They came to LeBron.
Their center is Jakob Poeltl. That dude that they traded from the Raptors. They got him from the Raptors. Yeah. Him.
Yeah, well, okay. If he's the starter. Jokic about to eat him up. The only guy I've seen get eating up that Jokic can't defend against his name is either DeMarcus Cousins, because we've seen it, and what's his face? Rudy Gobert, because Rudy Gobert can take him down. And I think they're going to win 6. The Rockets should win in 6. I think the Utah Jazz are going to play some amazing defense. They're the best defensive team in the Western Conference. So, and I don't know James Harden yet in the playoffs.
Shit. We see how he is in the playoffs. He just goes somewhere. He's in a whole nother world in the playoffs. We seen it so many. We seen it countless times. He had like a double in turnovers at one point. So it was like that's how you know that he gave up on. So you know he gave up.
Yeah, that's true. I want to say their most played lineup actually has been Aldridge, Gay, DeRozan, Forbes, and White, because Forbes actually starting lineup.
Oh yeah.
So
they got Rudy Gay, bro. They can't lose. They can't lose. They also got Rudy Gay.
Yeah, I think. Yeah,
he's been a huge sleeper. In this league, which I don't understand how he's never been to an All-Star team.
He was never an All-Star team because Memphis wasn't always very good. I don't think during his early years they really made the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know, but he is never.
Who was there during? I think he came in 2008, did he?
No, it was around like 2007.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure that they were really good small forwards by then. I'm pretty sure there was really good guards.
I think
he was drafted by the Rockets. So
the Rockets let him go.
I have no idea what it.
Happened to Kyle Lowry too. He got let go.
Yeah, Kyle.
He got let go by Memphis. Let him go. He got traded. He got sent to the Rockets to play his first season ever.
Yeah, I really, Kyle Lowry. I mean, let him go is okay. I think Rudy Gay has been a good player. He's only, you look through his career, he's averaged 17 per game.
Yeah, he's averaged like almost 20. Like when he was in Memphis, he averaged almost 20 points in his whole entire career in Memphis. So he. But what's his average this season? Cause
It's a. Just give me a second. 13.7. He's never been a crazy good scorer. His
he
highest
is no
average was 21 with Sacramento. His highest in Memphis was 20. Yeah, 20 a game. So that's what I was saying. He's been a crazy scorer. It's kind of just been your average 17 per game guy. So, you know, funny enough, his average is, Sacramento and Toronto. He went to Toronto for about 2 years, where he was
Oh yeah, he did go. Yeah, he did go. He did go to Toronto. I do remember that.
he went to Toronto. And he averaged 19 for one season, and averaged 19.5. And so he's a good player. I think he's going to get good money on the market if he wants to leave that team. But yeah, Rudy Gobert's X factor. Nikola Jokic is the X factor because for the Nuggets in that series, he must have a good game for them to win. If he doesn't, we've seen them against the Warriors, really against the Rockets too.
Jokic doesn't perform, then the whole team's not performing. Because like coach from like high school, middle school, intermediate, if, like they always, if you have the star player perform, then the whole team performing. That's how it goes. The supporting team wants to start, and if they see them doing good, then that means the supporting cast is gonna do that as well.
Yeah, you got your X factors got to do well. Your star players got to do well. I think for most teams, the star player is the X factor, or maybe some random guy is the X factor. If he comes up, he's going to do good. Like Draymond Green is always going to be X factor for Golden State. I think this year, because if he's able to keep shooting as well he's been shooting last 2 weeks, they'll be unbeatable.
Somebody in the X.
Look, no, he won't. I know you think he's done that a couple times, but he doesn't. He's not a dick kicker. Stop that.
They already branded himself without asking for it.
He did it like 2 times 1 year, and now he's branded that. Like he hasn't kicked anybody else anywhere near there. So I think he's fine. But back to the Spurs Station Rockets. James Harden. If James Harden can keep doing what he's doing, they'll have an easy time, I think, actually, with the Jazz.
I think they're gonna easily they could easily handle it.
Well, unlike other teams, they are James Harden or bust. I mean, if James Harden cannot do what he does, they're going to have difficulty against the Jazz.
We all know Chris Paul, his scoring abilities aren't really there. He aren't really there anymore. He ain't really before. What he's not. Because he was averaging 19 he was on Clippers, he's 20, at one point, like 22, 11 with the Pelicans / Hornets. So it's like, now he goes on a team with James Harden. He can't score he once was. Because while he was scoring, I didn't get points. Because he had him in 8 points. He pays it. So during that time, times have changed, and he's not even consistent all he once was. Average like 10 assists no more. He's not even doing that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny enough. I think he's gonna get more of the ball during the postseason. They're gonna need him to work, okay? Because their entire offense is.
One thing. Just hope that injury does not hold when they need him the most. Because we see what happens when his hand is folded. The whole team folded against Warriors. We've seen it first. when they was about to go to the NBA final, when they was on one way ticket, his hamstring, the whole team crumbled. The whole damn team crumbled.
The reason why they were probably a better team last year in that series was because in 6 and 7, even though they lost, they had the lead, and that's why I think maybe you're right. The team by the second half kind of lost it all because in the first halves of both of those two games they were up, and if Chris Paul's there now, if you remember earlier in the in the series, they were up like by double digits going to third with Chris Paul, and they lost the entire lead. So I'm gonna say Paul they kept the lead or they would have won, but I would have picked them to win. There's a reason they didn't play Chris Paul all the games this year. You look at his games play. He played 58 games this year. Okay, they didn't play him a lot
because they know they're trying to be diligent with his injury and not trying to like overwork him because as you get older, your body parts they're going to start holding on. They're going to start holding on. All these types of injuries that you never had before, doing a little shit ever. You're going to have those types of injuries, and you're going to start contemplating what should I do? How should I play?
Yeah, I mean, this is easily his worst year shooting, apart from his rookie first season. He's shooting 41.9%, and so he has not shot well.
As a whole.
His 3-pointer, I'll be honest with you, it's probably the second worst of his career, other than his rookie season, which is like 20%. He's shooting 35.8, which is good. Nothing crazy, but it was good. It's good. But that tells me 35%. I'm sorry, 35.8%. And so
that isn't Chris Paul.
Yeah, I think Chris Paul, which is important. But going to the East, we'll quickly go through this because we got to get out of here. Warriors game in an hour. Those.
You gotta watch that shit, and we gotta watch all these.
Yeah, the Nuggets. You have to watch Nuggets at like 9:30.
We're gonna be pulling up Friday, talking about. We'll have to see.
We'll come tomorrow and do 2 podcasts. We'll do an early one, kind of.
Yeah, we'll do early one. We'll talk about
the last 2 games.
The game. We're talking about the games before.
We'll talk about those. We'll talk about the Raptors and Magic. We'll talk about the Warriors and Clippers and the Nuggets and Spurs because we're gonna watch those games.
Yeah, we watch those games and then we're going to discuss what we've seen and what we see happening in those games.
Yeah, we'll also talk about a little bit probably tomorrow about what we think the Lakers can do now. With Rob seeming to still be the GM, them firing Luke Walton, even though I still think Luke Walton should have never been fired, should have stayed in his job. The only bad thing for him was he didn't really do well with rotations, but he did kind of get screwed by LeBron, like messing up his groin, and them losing 12 of the 18 games he missed, in like 4 of those games against the worst teams in the NBA. So. Was it really his fault? No. If they made it, would he have kept his job? Yeah.
I think if they made the playoffs, like I said, like I've been saying, those 18 missed really fucked them. Those 18 really fucked them into missing playoffs.
Those 18 games were important. They were very important.
Because we see how important they were. Because they're not even now. They in the real estate right
now. I think they were still in contention for the playoffs when he came back. It's just they just could not win.
They were in contention when they came back. They were still in contention. They just couldn't win games.
Yeah, they just couldn't win games. I'm not sure how many games they're out of the 8th position, but there may be 2 games at.
They were. I know they were at least less than 4 games out of the.
When he came back?
Yeah, they were like less than 4 games out when he came back.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Anybody correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I think. Right now,
when he's
that,
there,
that,
when he
when he
was
was
there,
there,
he
he just
just
won
winning,
winning games,
he
and he
wasn't
wasn't
putting
putting up
numbers
numbers.
also.
Also, that's the thing. Like,
You know, I think the most important thing for people, there's a reason why to me, he's the third best player just overall, maybe fourth or probably fifth, honestly. But I'll give him third, is because he averaged his average. He was 28, I think 9 and 10, or probably a little bit less. And what happened? They weren't very good. They call Chris Paul the point guard.
yeah, on Basketball Reference, yeah, they call him the point guard.
That they take nicknames that people say, wow. I would think it would be John Stockton because John Stockton is the best point guard. It
Yeah,
depends. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, I've never heard that one on even TV. But uh, LeBron, okay, he averaged his average. What happened? The team was he did not have long. He didn't have Kyle Kuzma, really. He didn't have Ingram, really. I do think if they had Brandon Ingram and Kyle Kuzma healthy, they would have been in the playoffs, maybe.
see, look. I'm looking. We have JaVale McGee. We have Casey. We have that piece of garbage. Casey.
who's that?
Who's
Yeah,
that? Yeah, Casey.
that
Yeah,
piece
that
of
piece of
garbage.
garbage.
Yeah, Kyle
Kyle
Kuzma,
Kuzma,
Brandon
and
Ingram,
the
average.
LeBron averaged 27.4.
Brandon
Brandon averaged
Ingram,
83.
Kuzma
Kuzma
averaged
averaged 18.7.
Caldwell
Caldwell
Pope,
Pope,
a trash
trash
Pope.
Pope.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what
we'll
we'll call
call
him.
him.
Average
Averaged
11.4.
11.4. And
Well,
JaVale
but
Bully
average
averaged
12.
12.
You only
We
have
only have
5
5
people
people
out of
out of
what?
what? 15
On this
on
team
this team
average
average more than
more than 10.
10.
Well, the
That's
one
not.
thing, right, is Alex Caruso should really come back. He looked good the last couple games. But just look at that game today. They played, I mean, 55, 52, 70, 47. I mean, your starters, except from McGee who's healthy, didn't play a lot. And that affected the team. Lonzo is a great defensive player. That's why you have him there. But no Ingram. I mean, that's 18 points. I mean, that 18 points going to be taken care of. They played horrible defense. They're actually a top 10 defensive team early in the year, but I mean, especially after the All-Star break with the whole Anthony Davis situation, they lost it, and they were a very good defensive team, and they weren't a big team.
Anthony Davis and the Lakers showed up. Things went completely left.
Yeah, I mean, try to get him, and the Pelicans are well. Dell Demps was pity. He didn't want it. Anthony Davis, and we'll see what happens this summer with Anthony Davis. But I think we're done here, right?
I think they
Okay.
really shit.
Here, I'll give you my prediction for the East real quick. So Milwaukee and Detroit should be Bucks and 4.
Then that series will be wrapped up quick.
Yeah. I think with the way that let me see real quick how the Raptors and Raptors and Magic that could be 5 or 6. That could be 5 or 6, maybe.
Raptors.
Yeah, Raptors Magic. That could actually be a 5 or 6 game series. The way it's going, I don't know how it ends, but it could go that way. Yeah, Magic up by 2. Yeah, I can go 5 or 6. I really think 5 or 6, maybe 7 if they really max out. Who else? Indiana, Boston, that could go 7 because something tells me.
Tells me
The Celtics.
tells me Indiana to put on another show this time.
Yeah.
Now with the LeBron-less East, LeBron-less East, something tells me Indiana's going to put on the show. So like how they did last year, they put on the show 1-7. They're going to do it again. They looking a little. I won't say it right now. They're looking a little sus. They've been up and down. They've been up and down. They've been looking a little sus for me. But hey, any like in the playoffs, anything to anyone.
All right, so I'm seeing here the Raptors are up 96-94. Pascal Siakam just made a tip shot. Oh, 158. Yeah, Magic will go 5 or 6, maybe 7. I think the Celtics should win in 5 with no Marcus Smart. I mean, that defense is so bad. They're going to have no one-on-one guy that can really defend because from last year, this year, the defense really tailed off. The only reason they're going to win is because they don't have Victor Oladipo. If this happened, they have Victor Oladipo. I would.
Yeah, if they had him, man, it's gonna be a different. We're gonna say something different.
I would say 6 or I would say 7 Celtics. And Nets and 76ers. I don't know. I mean, if Joel doesn't get any better, um, he probably won't for at least second game. Nets in 7 or maybe even 6. Uh, they need to win too. The Nets really should go hard for game 2 and really try to get that game. Don't come off the proverbial, you know, push the driver. Don't come off, man. I'm just going blank right now.
Yeah,
Don't get off the gas when right now. Win that game 2. You gotta win that game 2. If they do, they'll be just fine.
oh man.
All right.
I guess we went over. Some. That's what we went over quite a bit of them. So our thoughts. We did our little side note here and there about the players. And we're not gonna just talk about players. We're gonna talk about real shit. The other podcasts don't do. All you do is talk about one little genre. No, we're gonna talk about the details. We can talk about like culture shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about different things here. Obviously, we're just starting off with a little bit of basketball. Thanks to the one person watching. If you're actually a person, who knows? You could be a bot.
If you're actually a person, thanks for watching. No, you never you could be a bot.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll talk about real life stuff. I mean,
that like button. Like you hit that like button too. So I guess they like what they see. They like what they watch.
Yeah, this is our first time doing a podcast, and so we're gonna have a little bit of technical difficulties and a little bit of trouble trying to keep everything going straight. But we'll get better. Next time, I think the big topic we'll talk about is the Lakers, your team. See how they are doing, and if they're going to make some big moves. If they do, good. And also, it's kind of big. We'll look at some people's podcasts and see what they're talking about, and see if we bring that in, for next podcast. But thank you.
And if y'all got shit that y'all want us to talk about, drop it in my DMs. You see, I linked my Instagram in the comments, so you can drop a little DM, and then I will bring it up. I will bring it up. I'll see what you want us to talk about. We can go for that. We're gonna incorporate. We're gonna do what other these podcasts don't do. We're going to incorporate the fan. We're gonna incorporate our people and see. Should they talk about? We will talk about because we do not give a fuck in this bitch. We will say whatever how we want.
Well, I'll say this. Right now, I'm just looking here on ESPN's GameCast, and I will tell you, Seth. I wish I was watching game. Well, I'll go watch. It's about 24.5. Magic are tied right now, and with wow, yeah, tied. Yeah, it's gonna go to overtime. So we're gonna go watch that. I'll go watch. This is incredible for the Magic. Oh my God.
Oh shit! They made. Who made?
Yes. Oh my God! That was actually the 3.4. They made 3. Wow, we should end the podcast. So we'll see you guys there. Go watch.
We'll see y'all when we come back.
We'll come back tomorrow morning, maybe in the afternoon. So because we have schoolwork to do. So we'll come back when the time's right. Thank you. You guys have.
I deuces.